So it's another fine day here in Banbridge, but the question is, why am I back photographing things that I only photographed last week? Welcome to this week's gallery. Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's gallery, where, as I said in the intro, I'm going back to look at a few things that I've shot before in previous videos. And why I'm doing that is I wanted to go back to familiar photographs because I'm trying out a bit of a new experiment, a new technique if you like. This week I'm doing ICM, or intentional camera movement. What is intentional camera movement? It's really when you take a photograph with a slow shutter speed and you move the camera just before the picture is actually captured. So for the likes of this, I'm here back where the benches are. You know me, weakness for benches. So the idea is that I've set it for shutter priority at 1/5 of a second, and as I take the photograph, then I move the camera. Let me give you a demonstration here with this yellow bench. So you line it up and then move, and that'll give you a nice blur. The trick is then to take the photograph in such a way that it's even and symmetrical within the frame. But there's also two ways you can do this. That way there was you took the photograph and you move the camera along, horizontally. But the other way of doing it is using the zoom, where you again line up your shot, and as you take the photograph, then you zoom the zoom forward. So let's just take that photograph just to give you an example of that. So again, lining it up and then twist. And you get this very pleasing swooshing effect as you've seen in the photograph. So that's that one taken, and I'm just going to continue walking around the town to find some of the images that I took before and to use the ICM technique. So the next time I'll see you, we'll be back in the studio and we can talk about it then. Well, that's the editing all done, and all I really had to do with the photographs was to adjust the highlights, because with such a slow shutter speed there was an awful lot of light coming in, and the highlights and the whites sort of were blown out. So a bit of an edit with that, a few color tweaks here and there, and what you're going to see now in the gallery is the photographs as taken. And I've really enjoyed this experiment this week. The ICM is something that I'm definitely going to go back to do again, and all I'm going to do now is introduce it to you. Here's this week's gallery, all about ICM, and I hope you enjoy it. So at this point I just want to interject and talk about something that I mentioned when I was outside filming, and that is getting the image correct, symmetrical and balanced and good proportions, all that kind of stuff. This this scene here, I'll show you what I was originally shooting, which was this. And I took two vertical pans, and these two photographs here, this one and this one, came out of it, and I like both, but for two different reasons. One's got more sort of detail with it, which looks nice, and the other one is structurally, compositionally, get that word out, compositionally better, and it was kind of a hard decision to decide which one was which. And this is the thing with the ICM, I suppose, or with any photograph, is deciding which one is the right one. And this is why ICM is such a good technique, because it's something you come back to time and time again, you know, just to find that right image. And I just wanted to show you these two because in our house there's a bit of a division into which one is the right one, and it seems I was wrong. But anyway, here's the rest of the gallery, and I hope you're enjoying it. So there you are, this week's gallery all about ICM, and I've enjoyed it, and I hope you have too. And for me this week, the photo of the week is this one. Would you agree with my choice? As always, feel free to leave a comment down below if you'd have chosen something different. And let me thank you once again for coming across to this week's gallery. I hope you'll come back again next week when there'll be a brand new subject. And until then, cheerio.